Hi everyone, welcome to another session of Working from Home with Aqua. And today we have Amir Jerbi, our CTO and co-founder. Hi Amir.
Hello. Hi Rani.
Hi. So, we are all working from home like everybody else, but we're also a security company. So we thought it would be a good idea to get some understanding of what kind of security measures we should take to make sure we remain secure at this time. One of the first things that comes to mind is we all use a lot of SaaS applications. What should we be doing to ensure that access to those SaaS applications remains secure?
Yeah, good question. So as we're all working from home these days, there is a great need of authenticating yourself against the SaaS application. So when you're accessing your Salesforce, your Jira, your CRM tool, you really need to authenticate and to identify yourself using a strong authentication method, right? Mm-hmm. So what we advise is the use of a multi-factor authentication for all of your SaaS applications.
Right.
So you need to have a strong user store like Azure AD or other vendors that support multi-factor authentication. And then for each one of your SaaS applications, you can configure them to use the authentication via SAML, so that basically you are leveraging your corporate authentication with the multi-factor when accessing the SaaS. Let me show you quickly what I mean. So if you're using Azure, for example, you can see that they've published this guide tutorial for each and every SaaS application. So this is, for example, the Salesforce one. So what it means that when a user will go to Salesforce, you will be prompted with your corporate authentication. And if your corporate authentication has a two-factor authentication, as it should, then basically each and every of your SaaS applications will be authenticated with a strong auth. And that's something that I suggest each and every company to use when using SaaS applications.
Okay, and what about Zoom? I mean, we're using Zoom right now, and we seem to be using Zoom for hours every day. How do we make sure that that Zoom remains secure, that no unauthorized parties can look into our conversations and so forth?
Yeah, it's a good question. So after you've enabled two-factor authentication to your SaaS application, there are additional security settings that you need to do inside of the application itself, and Zoom is a good example for that, because we all know that today all of the communication is over Zoom. Maybe if you're not enabling password for the Zoom session, the Zoom meeting itself, then someone can randomly look up for Zoom IDs and get into your session. So what I suggest is each and every SaaS application, including Zoom, has its own security best practices. So for example, Zoom have published, there is an advanced security setting guide where they provide you with details how to harden your Zoom settings, how to enable two-factor authentication, how to add passwords for the Zoom rooms, etc. So I do suggest after enabling the two-factor, also looking at the specific SaaS, in this case Zoom, and going over the additional hardening that is needed for the application itself.
Yeah, and I would add, just from a privacy standpoint, remember to end your meetings, and I even turn off the laptop camera when I'm not using it, just to prevent kind of accidental exposure, which we've seen happen. So, and then of course we have the issue of network connectivity. We're all connecting from home now. We're not using the office network. We can't limit access to certain applications based on IP addresses. So what do we use for that?
So for networking, I suggest to use VPNs, right? So VPNs, not only that they give you encryption over the channel, but also as you are connecting to your VPN, you basically get a specific subnet IP range, which you can use in your SaaS application in order to create some access control. So for example, I can create an access control policy saying that I can only access Salesforce if I'm connected to my VPN, right? Because when I'm connected to the VPN, I'm getting an IP address. One example for a good VPN is Perimeter 81. It's a SaaS-based VPN. So basically, you just deploy a client on your laptop, double-click on it, connect to your SaaS VPN, and from there you can, go to every SaaS application that you need. There are other options like K2. So regardless of what you would choose, your connection is going to be secure.
And finally, I mean, we're a software company, so and we have a lot of development platforms and tools that we use, but they're all cloud-based, right? And we run everything in public cloud. How do we? And I'm sure that other companies are in the same position. How do we secure access to our and the configuration of our cloud infrastructure?
So as companies are moving to the cloud and today working from home, it's easier to operate your cloud data center from home. We are seeing more and more companies moving workloads, moving software development even to the cloud. And as you have more sensitive data and more critical workloads running on the cloud, you really need to monitor them, right? So either if you're using Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud, or any other cloud vendor, Aqua provides with a cloud security posture management solution. It's called CloudSploit. It enables you to connect to those cloud accounts and to continuously monitor them for any suspicious activities and any bad configurations that you might have. So we mentioned the two-factor authentication, right? So for example, if you don't have two-factor authentication on each and every of your cloud vendors, you will get an alert from the Aqua CloudSploit solution asking you to change that and giving you the details how to set up a secured cloud environment.
Great, and so this is a tool that people can sign up to. We have a free version as well. Well, thank you, Amir, for that. Hopefully, this will help people maybe find things that they may have overlooked in their working from home environment overall. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Stay safe.